Folks, it's my coach used to say it's go-to time. It's go time now.
Welcome to the Kyle Olson Show. Let's start today with a question. Have you ever heard of a major political party repeatedly demonstrating they hate America? I mean, just rubbing our faces in it, and then asking you, the voter, to put them in charge of the country? Here is the opening of the Democratic National Convention this week.
Many of the videos and pictures you're about to see were recorded before COVID, which is why the kids are not social distancing. However, the audio was recorded over the past month. You may rise or kneel if you are able, per your preference.
A major political party inviting its delegates and members to kneel because they hate our flag and are embarrassed by our country. That's nice. Then you had the opening prayer.
I was a stranger, and you had the nerve to build a wall, while at the same time you have in the harbor there in New York a Statue of Liberty saying, give me your tired, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Jesus will say, America, if you don't get your act together, you may well go to hell. Why? Because inasmuch as you do it to the least of these, my sisters and brothers, you are also doing it unto me. We need to unmute the mic.
Well, maybe we should feel lucky. At least he didn't ask God to strike down Donald Trump. But why would he do that? Because now they just omit God from the Pledge of Allegiance. Friends, this is not edited.
To start our program today, please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
That wasn't the only time. Here's the LGBTQ caucus meeting.
Hello, everybody. If you don't have a flag, I have flags here right in front of me. Please place your hand over your heart. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Here's Fredo's brother, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo.
The European virus infected the Northeast while the White House was still fixated on China. The virus had been attacking us for months before they even knew it was here.
Remember when Democrats criticized President Trump for calling it the Chinese virus? He's racist. Now you have a governor doing China's bidding and calling it the European virus. Whatever happened to offending our allies? And the news from Cuomo's appearance was that he's publishing a book in October titled American Crisis. Crown, the company publishing the book, called it, quote, a remarkable portrait of leadership during crisis and a gritty story of gut-wrenching choices that point the way to a safer future for us all, and, quote, a powerful testament to true leadership in times of extreme crisis. New York has had the most coronavirus deaths of any state, over 25,000. Over 6,600 of those occurred in nursing homes, where he had a policy similar to Gretchen Whitmer, where COVID-19 patients were sent to nursing homes to recuperate, but ended up passing the virus around the facilities at the same time. If Andrew Cuomo is going to cash in on his supposed leadership during the pandemic, maybe all of those families who lost elderly loved ones in a nursing home because of his leadership should file a class action suit to claim a piece of the proceeds. Just a thought. Speaking of Governor Whitmer, here she is on Monday without even a hint of irony.
When we work together, we can accomplish anything. After all, democracy is a team sport.
If democracy is a team sport, why have you issued nearly 200 executive orders and hid behind a 1945 emergency powers law to do so? The legislature asked to be part of the strategy, but you don't have time for that. You're too busy writing executive orders, creating any mandate you damn well please. But she wasn't done.
Joe Biden and Kamala Harris will lead by example. It'll be science, not politics or ego, that will drive their decisions.
What data are you using? What's science? Nobody seems to know, and of course, no one in the Lansing media has the brass to ask. No Democrat convention would be complete without Our Lady of Perpetual Sorrow, Michelle Obama.
They watch in horror as children are torn from their families and thrown into cages.
That statement was so egregiously false, even the Associated Press couldn't let it slide, and subjected it to a fact check. Quote, Trump used facilities that were built during the Obama-Biden administration to house children at the border. They are chain-link enclosures inside border facilities where migrants were temporarily housed, separated by sex and age, end quote. Michelle Obama didn't have time to get into those details. She was too busy wagging her finger at us about white privilege from her $12 million Hamptons mansion. Or was it the $8.1 million mansion in Washington, D.C.? I couldn't tell. Michelle Obama is just another Democrat lying to us about what her own husband did. President Trump, incidentally, ended the Obama-Biden policy. Does it give you comfort that the next potential president literally speaks like a broken record?
That's the kind of first lady this Jill Biden will be.
And then there's Bill Clinton. He has the gall to lecture President Trump about behavior in the Oval Office.
At a time like this, the Oval Office should be a command center. Instead, it's a storm center. There's only chaos. Just one thing never changes: his determination to deny responsibility and shift the blame.
Let's bring a little levity to the program now. The post office is a disaster, and it has been for decades. I don't need to tell you that. But now that the Postal Service Board of Governors has appointed a businessman to run the place, which ran a $9 billion deficit last year, the swamp is coming unglued, specifically the postal unions and their enablers in the Democrat Party. They're exploiting mail-in voting. That's the hook that can scare people. We'll talk more about that in a bit. The post office has major budget problems. So who's swooping in with the fail-safe solution? Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Warning, this is real.
Hello, everyone. I have been thinking about ways to help you help the post office, and I think I've got an idea, and I'm interested in hearing your thoughts. So one of the best ways to support the post office is to buy stamps. What do you all think? Would you guys be down and excited if I set up a national progressive pen pal program? Do all the work of connecting you to somebody else. We would offer maybe some conversation prompts or postcard prompts, and even like a printable postcard format. You just send it out. Would you guys be down? Do you like that idea?
Democrats are pushing a conspiracy theory alleging Postmaster General Louis DeJoy, who has been on the job for about 3 months, is orchestrating slowdowns of the mail system to sabotage mail-in balloting for the November election. NPR reported the Postal Service has, quote, long been in financial trouble, having lost $9 billion last year. NPR said that. According to the agency, it generated $24.4 billion from first-class mail in 2019, a decrease of about $510 million from 2018. AOC's scheme would have to generate an additional 16.3 billion new pieces of first-class mail to eliminate that $9 billion gap. That's about 49 pen pal letters per American a year. Not per progressive activists or whoever wants to participate in their hair-bearing scheme. 49 pen pal letters per American. It's so interesting one of the most tech-savvy members of Congress would propose such an archaic solution. She's telling all of her supporters who use social media, texting, and technology to communicate, use this archaic system and archaic method to talk to each other. And for what? That does nothing to deal with the structural problems the system has to grapple with. That's specifically why Louis DeJoy was put in charge, and the unions know it. And the Democrats who protect the unions know it. When I come back, Kevin Kosar, who recently wrote about the problems with the post office, joins me. This is The Kyle Olson Show.